Right, I thought I'd do a video on my little van setup of how we got now. So now he's waiting for dinner. So what we got is a little gas stove. I made this thing here. It's really not that professional, but whatever, it works. So it's a little shelf, about 40 centimeters wide, and then the gas is fine there. I don't use camping stuff. I think it's junk. But this just a pan and a frying pan, it's fine. And then here I've got a Wi-Fi here. So this basically, you put a 4G SIM into it. So it's much better, it's much more powerful than your phone. So you can connect to that when you're in the remote. But I'm going to get a satellite one as well. Obviously a light. I might swap this out for LEDs at some point. This is a heater, a Diddy heater it's called. So it says 750 watts, but it's actually 500 watts from when I measured it. And it's okay just to kind of warm the van up. It doesn't use too much. If you turn it on for 5 minutes, and it will warm the van up perfectly for that. But you can't really run it all the time. It's just a quick fix, really. I need to get a diesel heater. And then in the front, change the video. I just put the front driver's seat down, so Murray can, if he needs to, he sleeps in the front seat a lot of the time, so he can jump onto that and then jump across. Otherwise, he's got to try and jump between the gap. There was a center between there. There's like a raised platform, but I removed that, so it's a drop down, because I can now then jump into the front if I need to. And then we upgraded the duvet. We had before, it was a summer duvet, but it wasn't really good enough. We got a winter duvet now. It's much better. And then I've got this board here, which I put behind a pillow, and I use this as a base to work from. So this is kind of like a seat which I then rest against the chairs there. This is all insulation. I've got an inch of insulation here, which I've got to put at the front as well. And I've put all the walls I've stuffed with, you can't really see, so it's all this, like, it's actually made out of plastic, this stuff is. I think it's plastic bottles, recycled plastic bottles. So it's not an irritant like the fiberglass stuff. So all the beams are all stuffed with that. And then I covered it with this, it's not called Reflectix, but it does the same job. But that's pretty good actually. But I might improve that in the winter. I need to get a fan in here though, because the condensation can get quite a bit bored now. Get a bit too much sometimes. So we do open the windows, because you can open the side windows here, only about 3 inches on here. But you need a fan in here really. Murray loves it though. And then yeah, we've got storage underneath here. You can't really see it, it's too dark. But I think it's 40 centimeters high, and that goes all the way under the bed. But I could probably improve it in this van, every single inch works. Like, I can sit on the bed and my head's about an inch from the top. So everything's got to be perfectly aligned. Whereas I think if you had a transporter, you could be a bit more flexible with that. But you've got to be perfect. But it is, I think, for one person and a dog, I think it's a good size. It's quite cheap to drive this car. It's about 50 miles a gallon. It's not fast at all. But I think for one person and a dog, it's I'd say it's really good for weekends, staying away. And the transporter is nice, but it's more expensive to fix up and set up. And this here is the good thing about the Berlingo. It's no one really cares. People just see it as a car. You kind of convert it into it doesn't look like a camper van basically. So you can park pretty much anywhere and no one really cares that you're there. So it's the ideal stealth camper. So I think if you want to get into doing camping in the van, I think a Berlingo is a perfect sort of first car, rather than a transporter, which I think would probably cost you twice the price really, including the cost of the van and the diesel costs. And because my T4, I think it did about 30 miles a gallon. And this does 50, so it's much cheaper, and then insurance is cheaper, parts are cheaper. Yeah, but you do sacrifice a bit in space. You haven't got it's not quite as wide, it's obviously not quite as long, and you have to move the seats But if you can put up with that, then it's good. So, Mary. And also you can spend the excess money on hotels or doing the van up as well. So, right, we're going to try and cook. I'm going to try and make spaghetti bolognese tonight with one pan. So the way we do it, we have to cook the spaghetti first, put that into somewhere into the frying pan probably. Then we'll cook the meat and then the sauce, and then we'll mix in the pasta, and then hopefully it'll be all right. It's not perfect, but it will do for now. So, Murray, and you can watch me do it. Oh, and also this good thing with the Berlingo, it's got this tailgate, so it acts as a. It's really good if it's raining. It's good for rain, but obviously wind you can't. But you can get awnings for these as well, tailgate awnings. So it gives you about 1.5 meter by 1.5 meter, maybe a bit more than that, 1.8 meter by 1.8 meter area you can work in. So it's a nice stand-up area, whereas in the T4 you can't really stand up. Well, you can't stand up in the T4. Here I can stand up right behind the tailgate, so it's almost like you've got as much room. If you use a tailgate with a tailgate tent, you've got as much room as a T4 anyway on here, so it's quite good.